The melodious music resounded throughout the grand banquet hall, the clinking glasses of champagne marking the lively rhythm of a celebration. Under the shimmering crystal lights, guests in tuxedos and evening gowns chatted animatedly. William Scott, 33-year-old CEO of Tan Hai Corporation, entered with a straight posture, a cold gaze, and a reserved smile. He believed marriage to be a restraint and love a luxury a CEO must set aside. Amid the crowd, Charlotte Benson, a 24-year-old recent communications graduate, shyly handed her congratulations to the host, sending birthday wishes to her friend. The light caught her long brown hair, making her gentle blue eyes stand out. When William saw her, it was as if his heart skipped a beat. He couldn't explain why, but he walked straight to her, weaving through laughing groups. "Good evening, I'm William Scott," he said in a warm yet composed voice. Charlotte, slightly surprised, blushed and smiled. "I'm Charlotte. Nice to meet you." They stood by the buffet table, the elaborately arranged hors d'oeuvres forgotten as they focused on their first conversation. William asked about Charlotte's dreams and plans after graduation. She spoke of her passion for documentary filmmaking, wanting to share stories of rural Australia with audiences. He nodded, his usually cold expression showing a flicker of emotion, and a thought that he wanted to protect her simple dream ignited in his heart. At the end of the party, instead of leaving as usual, William surprised her. "Would you like to grab a late-night coffee at the cafe across the street?" "My treat." Charlotte blinked, hesitated for a moment, then nodded. Together, they left the mansion and walked through the cool Sydney night, sharing small stories about life, family, and loneliness. Under the starry sky, two distant hearts connected for the first time. A few days after that fateful night, William received a friend request from Charlotte on social media. Her first message was simple and sincere. "Charlotte, hello William, I really enjoyed talking with you the other night. Hope we can chat again soon." William nodded inwardly, unwilling to miss the chance to know her better. He replied, "William, hello Charlotte. I also had a great time. If you're free, maybe we can grab another coffee." Charlotte answered immediately, "I'd love to." On Saturday morning, William drove his sleek black sports car to a small cafe on a quiet suburban street in Sydney. The cafe's exposed brick walls and warm yellow lighting offered a calm escape from the city's bustle. Charlotte waited at a corner table by the window, early sunlight filtering through the trees, casting dappled patterns on her hair. William entered in his tailored vest, his expression cold but eyes bright with anticipation. He removed his coat and offered her a gentle smile. "You look beautiful in this morning light." Charlotte blushed and smiled back. "Thank you. And you? Has work been too busy?" William ordered 2 cappuccinos and shared his latest business plans with her. Charlotte listened attentively, interjecting with soft questions. "Do you come here often?" "No, this is my first time. I wanted a quiet place to think." Charlotte realized that for a busy CEO like William, spending a weekend morning on coffee was rare. She felt lucky indeed. Their weekend coffee dates became a steady routine. Each time, Charlotte brought homemade pastries, almond biscotti, brownies, blueberry muffins. Carefully boxed with a note, "Wishing you a great day." William accepted them and always thanked her. "You're so thoughtful. I love your biscotti." Charlotte would smile modestly. Inside her, warmth spread. William felt different. Whenever he saw her in that cozy cafe, with her gentle eyes and kind smile, he began to look forward to their meetings as a true balm against stress. One Wednesday afternoon, William called Charlotte out of the blue. "Are you free tonight? I'd like to take you to an outdoor movie screening at the Botanic Gardens." Charlotte hesitated. "An outdoor movie? I've never tried that." "I'll pick you up at 7. Bring a jacket, it might get chilly." That night, under soft lanterns strung among trees, William and Charlotte sat on a picnic blanket, watching a film beneath a starry sky. She leaned on his shoulder, feeling the warmth of his expensive suit. William gently wrapped his arm around her, protective. His heart fluttered with a strange feeling. He wanted to be closer to her, to care for her more. When the film ended, Charlotte turned to him. "That was wonderful." William bent down to whisper, "You know how much I've been looking forward to this?" Charlotte's eyes glistened. "So have I." Before parting, William paused outside the villa where Charlotte rented with her friend, the warm light illuminating the stone pathway. He studied her for a moment. "Good night, Charlotte." I'll see you again soon." Charlotte nodded, then smiled mischievously. "I'll be waiting for Mr. CEO who doesn't believe in marriage." William laughed, the first genuine laugh in years. It was a sincere smile for the woman who thawed his frozen heart. 2 weeks after the outdoor movie, William and Charlotte's bond deepened. They strolled along Darling Harbor, sharing secrets, Charlotte's childhood in a Victorian coastal town and her documentary filmmaking dreams, William's rare revelation of the pressures of carrying on the Scott family empire, spanning energy and real estate. One Sunday afternoon, as William sat in a second-floor boardroom at Tanhi's headquarters, his phone buzzed with a video call. He answered to see his mother, Eleanor Scott, sternly on the screen. "Mrs. Eleanor," coldly. "William, I know you've been spending a lot of time with that girl. We have a family meeting today, on Sunday. Can you attend?" William suppressed a sigh but smiled calmly. "William, yes, Mother. I'll be there." The family meeting took place in the luxurious living room of the Scott mansion in Double Bay. A wall of fine wine displayed behind them, and an ornate round table sat at the center. Alongside Eleanor stood Uncle Hugh, 2 Tanhi board members, and their private lawyer. William entered, nodded to everyone, and introduced Charlotte, who stood shyly beside him. "William, Mother, Uncle Hugh, this is Charlotte Benson, my girlfriend." Silence followed. Eleanor assessed Charlotte from head to toe, curling a lip. "Mrs. Eleanor, Charlotte, welcome. I hear you graduated in communications?" Charlotte blushed and bowed. "Charlotte, yes, I just graduated, and I'm seeking an internship in documentary filmmaking." Uncle Hugh, curious, asked, "Uncle Hugh, so you're freelance, no steady position? Which company hired you?" Charlotte, nervous, replied, "Charlotte, I'm waiting for opportunities. I haven't secured a job at a major company yet." Laughter echoed from the lawyer. "Lawyer, she's young, no assets or stable income. For the Scott family, we can't accept that." On the drive home, Charlotte sat silently in William's car as he navigated the coastal road, the sunset painting the sea red. Finally, William sighed. "William, my family, they're worried about our future." Charlotte turned to him, tears in her eyes. "Charlotte, I know I'm not worthy. Your family is wealthy and powerful. I'm just a fresh graduate with no savings or reputation." William pulled over and enveloped her in a tight embrace. "William," whispering, "I don't care if they accept you. I just need you by my side." Charlotte trembled. "Charlotte, but if they keep blocking us and force you to marry someone else? I don't want to be a part of an arranged engagement." William wiped her tears, voice firm. "William, I understand. Let me handle this. You focus on your dreams, open your heart to me, and don't be scared." After that day, William poured himself into negotiating with the board and his family. He summoned his mother and lawyer to an evening meeting at his office and declared, his feelings for Charlotte were genuine and profound. Charlotte had creative talent and a bright future in media. He would accept no arranged marriage. The night was long as William and Mrs. Eleanor argued. She proposed suitable matches, a bank director's daughter, a young lawyer, but William adamantly refused. "William, I won't propose to anyone else. I will prove Charlotte is deserving." Despite his efforts, William had to temporarily step back. Endless marriage discussions dragged on until the weekend. The board demanded he abandon his romance or focus entirely on business. Overwhelmed, William confessed to Charlotte, "William, I'm sorry. I have to pause this for a while to resolve family matters. Please, give me time and space." Charlotte choked back tears, looking at him under the office lights. Charlotte, I understand. But you must promise to come back. William squeezed her hand, voice firm. William, I promise. 2 years, it's not long, okay? Charlotte nodded through anguish. Charlotte, I'll wait for you. Under the cold glare of office fluorescents, they parted, beginning 2 years of turbulent separation. At dawn, as sunlight broke over Sydney's skyscrapers, Charlotte loaded her belongings into her car with quiet resolve. In her rearview mirror, she took one last look at the bayfront mansion where she and William shared so many sweet memories. Her phone lit up. You promised 2 years, didn't you? William's final message. She nodded through tears, locked the door, and drove south toward her hometown in Victoria. The drive from Sydney to Warrnambool spanned nearly 800 kilometers. Charlotte drove for 2 days and nights, stopping only at highway rest stops. During the journey, William's words echoed in her mind, focus on your dream. In Warrnambool, she was warmly welcomed by her old-school friend Anna, who now ran a small arts cafe in town. Charlotte decided to stay. She took a manager job and returned to her passion, filming documentaries about local fishermen and the sunsets along the Great Ocean Road. Meanwhile at Tanhai headquarters, William attended a family reception his mother hosted. Eleanor introduced him to Margot Beaumont, the daughter of a prestigious Asian banking family. The afternoon tea was lavish, with representatives from both families present. William sat politely beside Margot, smile on his face but heart empty. All eyes watched him, awaiting his assent. When Mrs. Eleanor presented an engagement gift, a jewelry box, William lifted it and placed it on the table, eyes distant. In that moment, he imagined Charlotte's brown hair dancing in the seaside breeze, her gentle smile over a warm coffee. Beyond marriage, William had to fight within Tanhai. His green energy investment proposals were fiercely opposed by veteran directors who favored short-term oil profits. In tense board meetings, William used market data to defend his long-term vision. He worked tirelessly, even taking Margot to evening gatherings to maintain the pretense of an engagement. But whenever his phone pinged with Charlotte's messages, his heart melted. Charlotte, are you okay? How's work? William typed, I'm fine. Don't worry about me. Then he silenced his phone, stowing his longing. Day by day, month by month. In Warrnambool, Charlotte's Cafe YouTube channel thrived. Her documentaries on fishermen drew thousands of views. She was invited to collaborate with a local production company. William's green energy project finally gained approval and generated stable profits. Mrs. Eleanor's doubts eased, and Margot showed more understanding. Yet William's heart still longed for Charlotte. At the end of 2 years, true to his promise, William stepped away from Margot and the arranged engagement. Boarding a flight to Warrnambool, excitement raced through him. That morning, William drove slowly along the coastal road, the salty breeze tousling his hair, a reminder of the peaceful land Charlotte always described. His heart fluttered with joy and nervous anticipation, as if decades of longing would melt in minutes. When he saw the Seagull Coffee and Story sign emerge behind eucalyptus trees, he took a deep breath. He pictured her bent over the counter, hair shimmering in the morning sun. But upon pushing the glass door, the counter was empty, only the whirring of the ceiling fan filled the cafe. Momentarily disoriented, he glanced through a rear window at the small parking lot. There, he spotted her familiar figure. Charlotte was leaning over her car, gently wiping its windows, her movements precise, hair drifting with the scent of shampoo. William's heart seized, hands trembling on the steering wheel. Would she recognize him? He stepped out, leaving his keys in his vest pocket, and quietly approached her from behind. Charlotte froze at the sound of footsteps. Slowly she turned, and in that suspended frame, their eyes met, her pure blue eyes, his longing gaze. Her heartbeat skipped, her face lit with cautious joy. William stopped a step away, breath mingling with the sea air. His voice was low and trembling. Charlotte. She held her breath before the name fell like a song. William? Everything around them hushed, the distant waves the only backdrop to their reunion. He reached out, lightly touching her shoulder, warmth flowing into her, the emotion of 2 years finally released. Charlotte stood still, tears welling up. In an instant, she was swept back to cafe dates, stolen smiles, and tears. Now, reunited, she broke into sobs of happiness. William wrapped her in an embrace, breathing in her familiar scent. He whispered vows in her ear. "I'm home. I haven't forgotten you. I'll never let you be lonely again." Charlotte's heart pounded. She gazed into his eyes, no longer reproachful or anxious, but filled with soft promise. Tears slid down her cheeks, mingling with her smile in that moment of reunion. To savor their precious minutes, William led Charlotte back into the cafe. They sat at their favorite window table. He ordered 2 lattes, the cups painted with seagulls, a special emblem for them. Each sip recalled memories. William, thinking, "My first coffee in 2 years, never tasted so rich." Charlotte, thinking, "In this moment, I realized how deeply I love him." Throughout their chat, their eyes met with unwavering faith as they shared everything: longing, life changes, dreams of a shared future. When sunlight slanted through the curtains, William placed his hand over Charlotte's heart, where she felt the swell of happiness. And as the cafe's doorbell chimed now and then, they knew that no matter what storms life held, this chance reunion united their hearts more firmly than ever. 2 souls from different worlds moved in harmony, ready for the chapters ahead. A few days after the emotional reunion, William and Charlotte returned to Warrnambool together. At noon, Charlotte led William to her family home in the outskirts, a small wooden house nestled among apple trees, with an old wooden swing on the porch she and her brother once played on. Charlotte's mother, Mrs. Helen, prepared a feast of grilled fish, garden vegetables, and pumpkin soup. Her father, Mr. Michael, nodded approvingly as he shared local news. When William was invited to the head of the table, Mr. Michael shook his hand heartily. "Mr. William, though you're famous across Australia, I admire your determination to pursue my daughter." Charlotte's eyes glistened. William bowed respectfully. "Sir, thank you for welcoming me." The meal overflowed with laughter and everyday stories. William felt a genuine sense of belonging. That afternoon, Anna and a few old school friends gathered at Seagull. They expressed admiration that a high-profile CEO would blend into their simple coastal life. "William, you didn't hesitate to get your hands dirty, making coffee Warrnambool style." William smiled wryly. "To understand and support Charlotte, I'll do anything." The small community welcomed them warmly, though some whispered doubts about a local girl keeping the love of a tycoon. Could she endure the pressures, they wondered. News reached Eleanor, who decided to visit Warrnambool to assess her prospective daughter-in-law. William invited her to Charlotte's home. Entering the cozy kitchen, Eleanor curiously examined everything: shelves of film scripts, thank you cards for cafe visitors. Speaking with Mr. Michael, she nodded. "Charlotte is indeed considerate, hosting you tea made from her own garden's apples." Though pleased, Mr. Michael gently added, "Our family isn't wealthy enough to support her if things go wrong." Eleanor looked at her son, voice calm. "William chose this path. If you're certain and happy, I'll support you." That evening, William and Charlotte sat by a campfire in the orchard. Insect song drifted in the night, firelight outlining their faces. William took her hand. "The barriers are fading. My mother has accepted you, your parents trust us. We'll walk forward together." Charlotte smiled, leaning on his shoulder. "I believe in us, to overcome anything." By the warm glow, they imagined their future, a seaside cottage where Charlotte wrote screenplays and William planned sustainable community projects. Though some worry lingered, love and family support ignited hope for the road ahead. Early summer in Warrnambool carried the salty scent of the sea and purple lavender blooms lining the hills. William and Charlotte prepared for a momentous decision. They would become formally engaged, officially in front of family and close friends. William gently stopped Charlotte atop a cliff overlooking the beach. The morning sun sparkled on the water. Turning to her, he gazed sincerely. Charlotte, remember my promise? I said I'd be with you forever. Charlotte smiled, eyes shining. You promised never to leave me. William knelt on a lavender blanket, opening a wooden box containing an engagement ring, a delicate diamond set on a white gold band. Charlotte Benson, will you be my fiancée and build a peaceful life here by my side? Tears of joy welled in Charlotte's eyes as she nodded firmly, I will. He slipped the ring onto her ring finger and beamed. The waves below seemed to celebrate in unison with their racing hearts. That afternoon, Charlotte invited her mother, father, and Anna to see Gull for an intimate engagement celebration. The cafe was adorned simply with white balloons and framed photos marking their journey since they met. Mrs. Helen hugged her daughter. My dear, you've found the happiness you deserve. Mr. Michael raised his glass, to your everlasting joy. Anna whispered to Charlotte, I never thought the icy CEO would turn out so sweet. William bowed to Charlotte's family, then faced his mother via video call. Mother, I would like to formally commit to Charlotte. Eleanor's warm smile appeared on screen. I'm delighted. Be happy, my son. The next morning, William hosted tea at the Scott mansion for Charlotte's parents. Eleanor personally greeted Mrs. Helen and Mr. Michael under rose-covered verandas. The two before exchanged warm words and discussed wedding plans. Eleanor told Charlotte, I've seen your love and sincerity. I trust you'll build a happy life together. Mrs. Helen squeezed her future daughter-in-law's hand. Thank you for this opportunity. Mr. Michael smiled broadly. We'll be one united family. Hugs and congratulations melted all social divides, marking a new beginning for William and Charlotte. Before departing, William and Charlotte walked hand in hand on the white sands of the bay, making footprints together. He held her hand and whispered, We won't just be CEO and graduate. We'll be partners, a family. Charlotte rested her head on his shoulder and replied, I promise to always trust and love you as on day one. Under the vast sky, they looked toward the horizon, where the dawn of their shared future shone bright. Their wedding day on Merry Beach felt like a dream. Soft morning light bathed the white chairs set on smooth sand, mingling with the surf's gentle roar and a violin's sweet strains. Charlotte wore a boho-style gown with a long flowing train, while William looked dashing in a cream suit, his eyes full of joy as he led his bride to a floral arch. The ceremony was simple yet filled with warmth, vows exchanged at sunrise, laughter from both families, and the affectionate gazes of close friends. When Charlotte placed the shiny ring on his finger, the ocean hushed, as if honoring the union of two hearts beating as one. Shortly after, William and Charlotte moved into the small house he had chosen since settling in Warrnambool. Nestled on a hillside overlooking the bay, it became their sanctuary. Each morning, William brought 2 steaming coffees prepared by Charlotte to their window nook, and together they discussed the day ahead. Charlotte immersed herself in writing scripts, her words growing stronger, leading to widely recognized documentaries about the coastal community. William's responsibilities as Tanhai CEO remained demanding, but with Charlotte by his side, he found balance. His green energy initiative entered successful trials, and whenever stress mounted, he returned to their beach home, where the waves soothed and inspired his long-term vision. Together, they collaborated on sustainability segments, blending his projects with her storytelling passion. 2 years after the wedding, they welcomed their first child, a healthy baby boy with his father's bright eyes and his mother's soft brown hair. His first cry on the rocky shoreline marked the beginning of a hopeful new chapter. Charlotte paused her long-form projects to tend to motherhood, while William created a wooden cradle beside their bed. Early days were lessons in diapers and lullabies, but every challenge melted into joy at their son's laughter echoing through the house. On weekends, the little family biked along the beach, picnicking on muffins Charlotte baked. Seagull Coffee and Stories evolved into a cultural hub. Charlotte screened her documentaries there, and William invited partners to view outdoor sustainable models. The wooden cottage that once belonged to Charlotte's family became a creative retreat for indie filmmakers, fostering community and innovation. As the sun set over the horizon on golden evenings, William and Charlotte strolled along the shore, hand in hand. He reminded her of their first meeting at the lavish Sydney party. She recalled the embrace under the cafe's lantern light. All obstacles, family opposition, business pressures, 2 years apart, were now memories underpinning their steadfast love. Under the endless sky, they believed true happiness was built from the simplest moments: a morning smile, a shared cup of coffee, and the promise to stay together forever, one they had faithfully kept through every passing season.